So hello, a pleasant morning, afternoon, and evening to each and every one of you. Welcome to Black Market. This is a team-based game where two groups compete by assigning roles and completing specific objectives. Each team uses strategy, observation, and movement to either smuggle an item across the field or to stop the opposing team from doing so. Here's how the game works. Each game of Black Market features two opposing teams with 4 to 8 players per side. Every team assigns 3 specific roles. First one is the smuggler. This player secretly carries a visible item across the field. Second one is the guesser, also called as the detective. Their job is to identify the enemy smuggler. Third one, so these are the remaining players, no? They are called the distractors. They act as decoys to confuse the other team's guessers. So the goal is very simple. Get your smuggler to the opposite side of the court while still holding the secret item. If they make it, your team wins. But if the opposing guesser correctly identifies your smuggler while they are still carrying the item, your team loses and they take the round. Only one person can carry the secret item at a time, and it must be visible. No hiding in pockets or under clothing. The item can be a ring, necklace, bracelet, headband, glasses, or any other wearable objects that stands out. The challenge is to blend in without drawing too much attention to it. So all players except the guessers must hop inside sacks to move across the court. So it's very fun. The guessers or detectives stay in place at the front line, facing the other team as they approach. They observe each player carefully, looking for clues and suspicious behaviors. If a guesser thinks they've spotted the smuggler, they shout, "I interrogate," say the name of the player. So for example, I find this specific person, let's think of a name. Let's say John. I think that John is very suspicious. So I'll say, "I interrogate John." And then at that moment, the timer pauses and all players freeze. A game host will step in to confirm the guess. If the player named is the smuggler, the guessing team earns 5 points. Then, the guesser must try to identify the exact secret item being carried. If they get it right, they score an additional 5 points. If the item guess is wrong, they still keep the initial 5 points for correctly identifying the smuggler. If the guesser is wrong about who the smuggler is, the round continues, and the chance to interrogate switches to the other team. So to summarize the scoring, a team earns 5 points for correctly identifying the smuggler, and 5 bonus points if they also guess the correct item. No points are given for a wrong accusation. A team can also win the round by successfully smuggling the item or by identifying the opposing smuggler. If time runs out and no one has smuggled or succeeded in an interrogation, the game enters sudden death. In sudden death, interrogations are now risk-free and no longer end your turn. Guessers can call out suspects freely, but the same rules still apply for scoring. So again, the game ends when either 1, a smuggler successfully reaches the opposite side with the item, or 2, a guesser correctly identifies the smuggler and names the item. So I think that ends our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. So again, it's like a race of movement, misdirection, and sharp observation. Thank you so much.